Rob Fraser here. In this video, I just basically want to talk about all of the different programs that I'm in, and just a couple of things, and I'm going to get right into it. This video is more so for the folks who've been following me since, I came up with the Broke Man's Plan. If you recall, that Broke Man Plan is what took me from over $100,000 in debt to paying it off and now becoming financially free in that regard, as far as paying off all of my debt. Although I consider myself far from being truly financially free. So, I want to talk about a couple different things, and I'm going to just get right into it. Number one, I'm always big against the guru jump, and what I mean by that is, we all follow a certain guru. That guru promotes a certain system for a couple of months, and then that guru goes on to the new system. And, I call that the guru jump. So what happens is the guru, every time they jump, they create a fresh rush of money. And I'm not saying that's good or bad, but for the average person following the guru, it's hard for them to keep up. And so in my own case, I didn't join new programs just for the sake of performing that guru jump. In my eyes, I saw it as a way to expand on what I was doing. So I'm going to talk about that in a second. Matter of fact, I'm going to kind of get into that here. Number one, here we have, this is my Broke Man's Plan. I've restructured it. I've kind of had it a certain way, but this is basically the newer version of it. And so the Broke Man Plan, it consists of my paying ads, lead lightning, power lead system. And let me clarify, my paying ads, revenue sharing advertising source. Remember this structure, because I have it divided like this for a very specific reason. And you're going to see how it all makes sense. We have the revenue sharing advertising program, my paying ads, right? Then we have the marketing system, which is lead lightning, power lead system. Everyone knows I use lead lightning, power lead system. I've been using them. Last year I've put 89 grand in lead lightning, power lead system commissions in my pocket. So that's the marketing system I'm using here on in, unless something happens. So we have the revenue sharing advertising program, then we got the marketing platform. Then we have the affiliated traffic source, and that traffic source is MLM leads. It's the best, it has the best commission structure. It does not have super inflated prices that you get with affiliated traffic sources, and it's real-time internet traffic. So we got the revenue sharing advertising program. We have the affiliated marketing platform that's generic, that will work for any business. We have the affiliated traffic source, okay? Now, we have an MLM, pretty much a traditional MLM type program, which is number 4. And then on the back end, we have a top tier direct sales program. Although I would consider P3 sort of like a medium ticket, medium tier program. The highest cost to join P3 is $1,000, about $1,100 with the admin fee. But that's not really top tier. That's just an average medium ticket type program there. So just understand that. So that's program number 5. Now, one thing I was kind of getting into earlier is when I was promoting the Broke Man Plan, revenue sharing advertising program, generic marketing platform, and then at the time I had a rinky-dink little business I kind of paired with that system. That process brought a decent amount of money. However, my average week's earnings stayed relatively the same. It took me a while. I got to around $2,000–$3,000 a week, and it had very slow growth. It would take me a while to get from $2,000 a week to $2,500 a week. And then from $2,500 a week, it took a long while to get to $3,000 a week. This is coming from experience. So one thing I was looking at, I was like, man, I need something to give this system a little bit more beefiness to it. Now, back then, I didn't have the same mentality that I'm sharing with you here. However, I've discovered over time that if I add a top tier program on the back end, a few people would work through my whole system, and some people would join me in that top tier program because they would follow the system that I already laid out. They would follow it long enough, they would learn how it works, they would start to get signups, they would make more money, and then they would take a percentage of that money and set it aside and later on join that top tier program. When I'd done that, my weekly average income increased $1,300 every single week. And it was just from having my same system up front and adding that top tier program on the back end. It wasn't so much the MLM program, it was that top tier program. So I was thinking about it and I was just, how can I structure my sales funnel in a way to make this make sense? Because check it out, and my numbers prove this. If I just promote, this medium ticket program and I just smash people over the head with that top tier, medium ticket program, it's going to take a lot of people to make money. And I can make that way work. However, for the average person, I found that they get discouraged over time and they need something just a little bit easier. Because check it out, I'm sure you joined a program to where it's, you sign up, you get a free ebook, there's a $7 product, no big deal, I'll pay the $7. And then after you pay the $7, you see the presentation, oh, but to really make this thing work, you need to pay $30 a month. Okay, I already spent the $7, I guess I'm committed, I'm a bite, and I'm gonna buy the $30 a month product. This is a very specific process, and I'm sure it has happened to you if you've been around long enough. It's called the power of micro commitment. It's also called, tripwire offer. With the idea, even on a capture page, you see that micro commitment in process. You go to a capture page, it says click here to continue. You click here to continue, and then you have to put in your email. The stats show that once you click here to continue, you're more likely going to put in your email address just for adding that little extra step because you already did that micro commitment. That's also why I'm setting up things this way. It's easier to get people to sign up for a My Paying Ads account because it's free. It doesn't have to cost anything. And then I present folks with the lead lightning offer. $7, one time $7. You get on My Paying Ads, you buy advertising for $5. That's easy. And then what I do is systematically show people how to grow their earnings and then get to a point to where they can start buying traffic. And then it has to still make sense because when you look at that, there's no real product. We have My Paying Ads, which is a place to buy advertising. We have a generic marketing platform. Well, what are we going to market? Are we going to market the generic marketing platform on the advertising? I don't need that. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it has to be a codified system. So we got My Paying Ads, Lead Lightning, we got the traffic source. We work your way up, then it has to mean something. In my case, I paid off that $100,000 in debt. And I wanted something to show for it other than having a slip saying you're debt free. So in that case, that's why I added on International Silver Network because, and just like now, I've been following the same plan. I got over 5 figures of gold and silver in a safe. And then, of course, we add the top tier program on the back end. And the few people who join the top tier program, those are the people you're going to work with the most. You see what I'm saying? And I had that long intro just for number 1 because the same system applies to number 2 and to number 3. And because I'm going to just buzz through number 2 and number 3 quicker because I don't want this video to be long. And I'm going to start holding more and more hangouts talking about this. But this is what I've discovered. This is what my own numbers prove. People follow me, know I mess around with my systems all the time, but this right here, this structure is not ever going to change because it works. My numbers prove it. Now, it's almost to a point to where I know how many free My Paying Ads signups I need to get before I get one person to sign up in P3. But it's a simple process. These first three programs is the Perpetual traffic plan. Folks who follow me, you know the deal. My paying ads, work your ad packs. Once you get to a certain amount, withdraw money, go over here, buy your traffic, promote the system. Just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. All your My Paying Ads money goes into traffic or ad packs. Money you make in Lead Lightning Power Lead System goes in your pocket. Money you make in International Silver Network, you just roll back into buying more gold and silver. And money you make in P3 goes in your pocket. You see what I'm saying? That same structure follows 2 and 3. And what I mean by 2 and 3. Down here, we have my Simply Stacking plan. Same structure. Got the ads team, revenue sharing advertising source. It's also, you know, that first column here. Revenue sharing advertising source, free to sign up. We got the marketing platform, Lead Lightning Power Lead System. It promotes the whole deal, the whole shindig. We got the affiliated traffic source. Now, in this case, I switched out International Silver Network for Carrot Bars, and I thought I'd never join Carrot Bars, but you know, there's a lot of people overseas who want to just start out buying gold from somewhere, and what better way than to create a group economics way of doing that by having a system like this in place so you can go ahead and do that. And then lastly, that top tier direct sales program on the back end of Questra Holdings. Again, that's another program I thought I'd never join, but after going to Aruba and meeting a whole bunch of people and talking with a lot of guys and doing some research, I put it in my Simply Stacking plan. But the structure remains the same. This is what I want folks to get. Revenue sharing advertising source. Generic marketing platform. The affiliated traffic source. The MLM. Carrot Bars is an MLM. And then the top tier direct sales program. Questra Holdings on the back. Same deal. And hang on, let me close down my other internet here. I got some stuff going on in the background. But hopefully that makes sense. And it's the same thing with this last system down here. We have the Yellow Brick Road system, FutureNet, Lead Lightning Power Lead System. There's a hidden program in there, Exodus Elite, but I'm not really going to focus on that because not a lot of people sign up for it. You've got FutureNet, Lead Lightning Power Lead System, same deal. FutureNet is the revenue sharing advertising program, free to join, free to create an account. We get Lead Lightning Power Lead System, the affiliated traffic source, the MLM, I put in Skinny Body Care, and then we have a top tier direct sales program on the back end of Digital Altitude. It's the same structure. All the money you make in FutureNet goes towards ad packs and buying traffic. Money you make in Power Lead System goes in your pocket. Money you make in Skinny Body, your pocket. Digital Altitude, your pocket. And it's simple. You know, I promote the Yellow Brick Road system. I build a list. And to that list, once a week I send out an email about Skinny Body Care with my link. And I send out an email once a week about Digital Altitude with my link. And that's it. So hopefully this video makes sense. Hopefully I'm not hitting the 15-minute mark. Leave your questions below this video. If you see it in a Facebook group, leave your comments below the video. Let me know if this makes sense. But everything has the structure. Revenue sharing advertising source, marketing platform, affiliated traffic source, MLM, top tier direct sales. These comp plans work together and it's a very powerful system. And the folks you know who join you at that top tier program, those are the folks you want to spend most of your time with, and those are the folks I'm going to spend most of my time with as well. Hopefully that makes sense. Rob Fraser here. Love you. Appreciate you. Leave your comments below the video. We'll talk to you next.